Mm-mm.
What you laughing at?
Oh, no, I was laughing at the. I really wasn't laughing. I was. I don't think I was
It
looking
sound
at
like
the
you giggle.
giggling.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I wasn't laughing. I mean, it's just funny how I was thinking about something you said earlier when you said that. Wow, that's
Hey,
Joe.
Christina. Hey,
Hey,
Pickle.
Christina. Hey, and I it wasn't. I was just laughing about something you said earlier, just about how much we do to try to um, try to support others and stuff. The stuff that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And then just laughing about that because we do our lives and you give up you give up your time and you steady trying to encourage people about certain things, especially when you talk about the prices. Just try to help other drivers and things like that, and just
Mm-hmm.
in general when I'm trying to help people in general. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
yeah. So and then you get over here and do the lives and sometimes I guess it can be a little overwhelming when you get you know ones to come on live and do it with you, and then some you don't, and then it takes it back to what you said earlier today about how I care about people, and sometimes I don't know why some people don't want the information, so yeah, I have to kind of learn to deal with it. And so like today we're talking about um, you know the price of diesel and how it's affecting so many things, and I think like right now I think that um, the average individual now is realizing that what we bring to the table. I think they learn a lot of what we learned brought to the table during COVID because most of your drivers were essential workers anyway,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
and and everything. So I think that that's but now that diesel prices are hitting an all-time high. Um,
It's affected
um,
now that diesel is at an all-time high. It's affecting everyone who jumped on the I'm gonna get a truck because
Bandwagon.
patient aware, right. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone who went out and bought a tractor trailer thinking, it was going to be a cash cow, they're
Mm-hmm.
now being being affected by the fuel prices, and also they're being affected due to um, the rate per mile, according
Yeah.
to according to the article you sent to us the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's starting to affect a lot of people. Bottom line, and
Definitely.
because I was talking to Andre. He was saying that his his diesel now is when he used to run to Florida, he used to try to find little pockets and things that was a
Hold your
little
head
bit
up, babe.
cheap.
Your face is cutting off.
Okay,
There you
I'm
go.
sorry. All right, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And so Dre was saying that he was it's starting to affect him a lot more because of it was like 15. He might spend if he's let's say this run was paying about 1900 dollars. Then his diesel now costs is somewhere in the $600 range.
Yeah, diesel's out.
$700, yeah. And he says
No,
really,
let me ask you a question.
hmm
Tractor trailers have two tanks, right?
yeah, too.
So would that be the price to fill one tank or two?
No, it fill the to fill two tanks, it would be it's a lot higher because you remember now you're going down and coming back.
Yeah.
So each tractor should get somewhere in the range of 6 to 7 miles to the gallon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to do the math on that, then let's say the one way the run is on the average. Um, the run on the average is um, one way, and your tanks are, let's say some of the tanks would be 100 gallons, 200-gallon tanks.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So but that's this is a 150-gallon tank over here, and it's a 150-gallon tank. It's 300 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
So you do 300 gallons times, um, what I'm saying, times $5. You know what I'm saying? So you start doing it in a manner of where that's that's $5 because you're talking about $5 a gallon, and you really don't want to fill it up like that. You want to do it when you get a backhaul because it's not going to take that many gallons to get to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Florida, it's only, I think, from where the average of Dre was going, it's almost, I think it was 400. I think that run was somewhere in the 400 miles or something like that. Something because I know Florida, the way you calculate everything is, because from here to Tifton is 2 hours. From Tifton to the Florida line is like 4 hours. So 4 hours at 60 miles is like 240 miles. So I think Dre was doing somewhere probably around 400 miles, something like that, 410.
Yeah, but
And
key word, you said 60 miles. Is that that's 60 miles per hour you're talking about?
yeah, because you do a mile a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do, that's the way we look at everything, a mile a minute, which is 60
Mm-hmm.
seconds, of course, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if you do 60 miles, it's pretty much going to take a truck about an hour. That's the way we looked at it. Unless you just really getting it, booking it, which we supposed to be somewhere at 65 miles per hour. And right now, the guys are not putting their foot in the tank. So, but the thing about diesel right now, the advice I can give anybody is to try to find that, your different states. Like right now, Georgia has the cheapest fuel um, of the average because the reason why Georgia has the cheapest is because the fuel tax that the governor of Georgia he actually did what you call a word I'm looking for shorter words right now. He 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 he's not charging. Let's put it like that. He's not he suspended the fuel tax for the state of Georgia. That's why
Oh,
our gasoline and diesel is cheaper than any other state at this moment. Other than if they that's why Biden was talking about doing a gas holiday. So
gotcha.
the one advice I would definitely give a lot of the drivers, um, get you a fuel card. Get you a fuel card. Try to find and if you got a credit card, if you're going to use a credit card to buy your fuel, because right now the interest rate is higher on a lot of those things. The fuel card interest rate is going to be, it buys you time. It usually like what we use. I think ours just come out every Monday. I think that's right. Am I right with that?
Yeah. Uh-huh, Avery.
Yeah. So with that, and just try to keep it at 62, 65 miles per hour. Got to
Mm-hmm.
keep some of the cost of fuel down. It just won't burn so hard. But because the fuel right now it's on the average is East Coast, and we're talking about East Coasters. Um, I think Dre
It's
told me
like,
some places in Florida that's $6 in diesel.
yeah,
hmm
yeah.
So you just imagine doing $6 at 300 gallons. That's $1,800,
Yeah.
and that's why I try to that's why I said when you talk about $1,800 in fuel on the average person to see that
Mm-hmm.
person not realizing how much you um will spend in
Say hello to my
you,
animals.
I'm sorry they speaking huh. So yeah, so that's, I mean, and like I said, I just wanted to kind of get on here and just see if, the average, person and how they're doing with fuel. I mean, my way of help, giving little tips about the fuel is that if you can just, on your phone, look for the lowest cost for fuel. Right now, if you're in Georgia, fuel up in Georgia, and I don't know all the states that a lot of the gentlemen run, and then try to get you some local work. So if you go into a state, like let's say if I'm going into Florida right now, I'm going to go into Florida and I'm gonna try to do some runs in Florida. Like once I get into Florida, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna try to do a day in Florida where I could do some local stuff in Florida, because a lot of times you do it that way, you help make some money, make your fuel costs, keep your fuel costs a little bit cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and because you're running local,
Mm-hmm.
and just making sure your tires and different things like that are at at the right psi they're supposed to be, just little things like that. And then you know when you the idling part, try not to idle. This is the part I was saying about when it's best to get when it's best to get um, the the T, the unit, as far as the unit to help with the as far as the AP unit. Because right now, if you idling, you're burning a lot of diesel, and you're not making any money when you're idling.
Right.
The AP unit right now will be your best friend. And then try to, just like I said, look at before you take your runs, find out what the diesel costs in that state. I mean, because like I said, if you're going to come through Georgia, you're going to get a better deal. I would try to, if it ain't going
At
to be
the
too
pump.
far out the way, to try to, to go through Georgia to get, fuel, because I think the average, like I said, on the average, Georgia is the cheapest. So, you know, but
So, but the diesel prices is like a blessing and a curse because it's high at the pump,
mhm,
but then when it's time to charge your customer fuel surcharge,
mhm.
you can you can get some of that back.
Well, it all depends on like who you running under, or if you dealing with the broker. Try to talk to your broker to get see if they can give you a little bit more on the fuel. Because the broker sometimes can go back and ask for more money. Now, if you're doing on the load board, you need to negotiate that with that individual, that broker on that load board. Because if you
Yeah.
don't, then they're gonna. I think
Well,
usually a lot of times it's already factored in.
okay.
I'm right now. Um, if you're not averaging, somewhere in the three, you know, at least $3.25,
A mile.
yeah, then you kind of you losing out.
Yes.
You won't hire, of course, but but this diesel thing has caught a lot of people off guard. So, but like I said, just not idling. Like Andre told me when he gets to his stops, he said, "Man, um, I park my truck, and a lot of times he'll get out and walk, and while they're unloading him, or either loading him, he doesn't
Leave his truck running.
just running, no, because you just can't afford it. Now overnight when he's sleeping, then it's a different story. But that's why he said now he's about to invest in the AP unit. But those things matter. Now it's even starting to affect everything. But I figured that once inflation's diesel is making inflation where it is.
What does the AP unit do?
The AP unit, it's a temperature control system that it actually regulates either heat or air in your bunker, in your bunk of the truck. It allows you not to have to run the engine.
Hmm.
And it has its own kind of unit as far as, but it doesn't burn a lot of diesel, because it strictly works directly with that unit to kind of keep the truck cool or even heated. So But those units right now are, they have their own, they pull from their own. They use diesel, but it's not usually as expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, so yeah. But like I said, it's just those little things. But the thing about it is that now people are starting to see, because what most people don't understand is that because diesel's high, the gasoline has to be hauled in through what? A truck. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it ain't coming in on a train. So that's why the diesel is living, right where diesel's at. That's why
Mm,
gasoline is like probably on the average $1 cheaper. And if you're doing
right.
premium, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably about the same.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's coming in on a truck, and that's why inflation is there. But I will say this, me and you, we both understand that how inflation works. It's meant to slow down things. Um, because if you go back to the 80s um, and the 90s, the interest rate back then was, if I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere between the 7 and 9 range. Some people owed almost 10% on, average on their house
Yeah.
interest
Yeah.
rate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people got to understand this is I know the difference is in the time now versus
Mm-hmm.
the difference in the time then
Mm-hmm.
is is the fact is that diesel's much higher, because I think on the average when I first started Crawford, diesel was like $1. I want to say 18 cent.
I remember.
And I remember when it went. I remember when it went up then, and I freaked out because it got up to like I think like $4,
Mm-hmm.
$3 to $4. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and knock on wood, God knows we're still here, but you got to look for ways to supplement on dealing with how to manage this next wave of you know kind of like slowing down the economy, um, because I think now the economy is still moving, um, it, and because I know I did a DoorDash the other day, and it was like just for them to pick up something, it was like almost $6 just on the tip, and if you don't do the $6, then your stuff don't move.
Then you jacked up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yep.
we come. I think the thing is that we lost sight of. So a lot of people turn their trucks in right now.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
yeah.
a lot of people, saying, okay, we can make it. And I was one of the ones that got on here and told a lot of people, say, look, you can do it. But I said, if you're going to start, at least, get to, you're going to go to truck driving school, go to truck driving school, learn the basics, da da da, et cetera, et cetera, and then, put in your work. Or like I said, also too, I told people you're going to start your business, make sure that you have a plan.
You're right.
Because what's that saying is, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. I think that's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with me, that's why, with CLA, that's why it's important that I was doing these lives to tell everybody, say, hey, you know what? If you reach out to me, and if I see you have a plan, or I can, help, if I see you even starting, well, let's say an outline, um, then I'll, be able to support you as far as the consultation and everything, and try to make sure you, um, are striving in the right direction, give you, you know, 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes for free, just to see this is really if you able to do this. But if you get out here and, because there's a lot of them out here now that, are realizing that, it's not as easy as, you know, some people are telling them, and now they're seeing it. And but we're still here to try. I'm still here to try to get you out of that. And before I tell you, like, man, you might want to turn the truck in because you're upside down. then the goal with me is to try to, see how can I um, support and help you what you're trying to do. Because just because you don't run because of diesel. Diesel's part of the makeup of the business. I mean, last year I think between Dre and all trucks, I wouldn't be surprised. I think we were somewhere in about the $70,000 range in just diesel. So you can't let diesel be your make you or break you as far as a business. That's why you got to have a plan. So you add diesel in, and that's all I'm saying about. What's up, man? What's up, man?
And
What's going on with you, man? Glad to see you, brother. So yeah, you can't make that, but diesel's up and its groceries are up, and families gonna have to learn how to, put it in the budget, make one trip to the grocery store a week. You know what I'm saying? You know, diesel is but diesel right now is affecting everything. It's affecting everything, and that's what and so right now I don't think the prices are gonna go down. I would be surprised if diesel go down past. It might get back to $5 even, and that's just my opinion. And if it don't get below $5, then everybody's gonna have to sit in, just buckle up and just get ready for this roller coaster. And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be below $5. Um, so, what you see what I'm saying? And
yeah,
diesel and gasoline? Oh no, the $3 days of gasoline, you can forget that. I don't even see gasoline going below 4.25 because if diesel at 5, gasoline going to be at least 4.
in a
Uh,
minute, gasoline gonna be is something that you have to budget for, make that part of your plan, and it's something that you got to pay when you in a transportation business. Uh, Gasoline, you got to look at it as if it's a bill and not just something that you just um fuel up on at the pump. You know what I'm saying? It's
it,
it's
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 a part of
it's
the makeup
something
now.
that's budgeted. When you book your run,
Yeah,
you also need to book the run according to the cost of the fuel for that run. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
got to plan it. Um, and you definitely going to need a backhaul.
yeah, and
You
then also
definitely need a
too,
backhaul. You can't doing
if you
runs one way or not.
yeah,
They're not beneficial or lucrative if you're not going to have a backhaul to
you're
pay for the fuel.
not anymore.
Hmm.
And then when you're doing like now, you got to even factor in the weight costs. Like if you're doing something at the difference between, like, let's say you're doing something at 25,000 pounds versus 35,000 or
That's right.
45,000 pounds, which is the
Yeah.
maximum we can haul. Each
Hmm.
one of those weights gonna make a difference of how much diesel
Right.
you burn.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. You gotta, and that's what's gonna happen with a lot of companies. Um, they're gonna start. They're gonna probably hit a higher surcharge on, in just my opinion, probably on something that's, just something 40,000 or 35,000 and up. That's why sometimes a lot of stuff don't move to the grocery stores. I see a lot of emails from, and they were like, well, we working on this, from brokers that are saying we're working on this particular, kind of, lane. They want to see if you're interested in it. And then you look at the bottom and it says 43,000 pounds. Well,
Hmm.
when you bid that, you got to bid in that diesel cost. And it's like,
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. You got to bid in, if, if, if diesel's $5, and this is the part that I try to get everybody to understand the numbers. So if diesel is $5.49 on the average or something like that, 5.79, whatever, and your truck, and that's a gallon, right? So if you every gallon you spend, sorry, for every gallon you spend, I don't know, my phone rings. So
That's
for every gallon you spend, it's like $5.79, right? So your truck,
mm-hmm.
if it's not getting at least 6 gallons, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
to the mile, then
Mm-hmm.
you burning. If you're getting 4 gallons, um, if you're getting four gallons to the mile, you're losing more because that's what that means. Your truck is either A, not serviced properly, or B, your tires and stuff are not, it's something going on with your truck, because our trucks average at least 6 miles to the gallon, and those 6 miles to the
Mm-hmm.
gallon make a difference between, like I said, that $5.79. And so if so that's how you have to break down dealing with, because everybody says, okay, it's not like a car. Your car is well, it is like the car. I will take that back, because even with your car, if you're getting, most people don't think about that. If you're spending $4.45, on the average in your car, if your car is not getting to so many miles to the gallon, then your car needs servicing. Your tires are not, inflated right. Something's
Mm-hmm.
going on, because a lot of people are like, man, my car burning a lot of gas. Well, it's probably time for an oil change.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm serious. People don't think about that, because
No, nobody thinks.
because your car is supposed to average certain miles to the gallon,
Mm-hmm.
and if your car is only averaging 2 miles to the gallon, man, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, you go, you know what I'm saying? You go 2 miles, and here, like I said, so every 2 minutes, think about it, because to the gallon, every 2 minutes, I told you there's a mile per what minute. So if you go 2 miles, your car only get 2 miles to the gallon, man, that's a gallon of gas every 2 minutes. That's what I'm saying, when you breaking things down and start realizing that why your car needs to be serviced, or why your tractor needs to be serviced. And that's why I think that, what's going to happen, every household is going to have one gas car, one electric, and an electric car, and then on the average, in tractor trailers in our world, um, you know, that electric tractor, even though they have not rolled them out, um, the way that, people are thinking, you're gonna start seeing companies, using electric trucks in them now. So I mean, it's because that diesel is gonna be five. It's gonna stay. It's not going below $5. I don't see it, because I mean, I just don't see it for at least the next couple of years. I really don't. I don't think it's gonna go below. And so, but but guess what? At the end of the day, you consult with Crawford Transportation. We'll tell you the better ways to try to, make things happen, as far as, um, finding the, just map out your route, map out what you're about to do, have a plan. Because like I said,
Yep.
if you don't have a plan, you planning to fail.
Right.
And I see a lot of, people that are upside down in their truck, and if you are, reach out to me, and so we can sit down and, maybe talk about how to figure out the best plan. Because, me, I'm always going to talk about entrepreneurship. I'm sorry. And like I said, I've seen some rainy days, and I was telling somebody this the other day. I said, when me and you used to, I used to talk to you like, man, it's even worse staying in this truck. And this was, saying this
Mm-hmm.
was in, 20, 2005 and six and stuff like that. And I was like, man, it's rough. And then when we hit 2008, I was like, man, what is this? But, we hung in there with it. And I think this is it's the same kind of phase. I don't think it's and, we just got to adjust to the $5 gasoline. I mean diesel,
Right.
and then be smarter with your runs, and
Right.
get you a good fuel card. The credit cards
Exactly.
right now, the interest rate on some of them things is because the interest rate
Ridiculous.
is changing now. That's another thing that's dealing with the inflation. We're starting to see those 10% that me and you knew about from when we was in, high school and stuff like that. When we come out of college, because I think the average, now, what's the average credit card now? Probably about 10%, something like that now. I mean,
What, the interest rate?
yeah. Well, I'm talking about as far as, Like, well, now it's probably like 29% now, right?
Yeah, but some are as low as it depends though, because you have some cards that the interest rate is like 14, which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and then if you some credit union credit cards are in the single digits, so
Mm-hmm.
um or at least 10%, as low
10%.
as 10% or lower.
Yeah. So
So it all depends, because I know we have a credit card that we've had for years, and that's we have one of the lowest interest rates.
yeah,
That card is very low.
very
So
low.
yeah,
Yeah. But if you're
but you can come
applying,
across them all the time.
yeah. But see, if the driver now, I'm just saying, if the driver, you get you a fuel card, or if you're gonna get a credit card, try to get you something with some points. It's
Exactly.
really worth that
That's going to
now.
benefit you at the
Yeah.
pump. Yeah,
Yeah, help you at the pump,
exactly.
because that's
Hmm.
all I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
because now you try to, and I say this because when we had to refinance, and the house and everything, we had a three, then we went to a four. Now you try to refinance your house, even if you got A1 credit, I think it's on the average now is a six.
Yeah. Yeah. The interest rate. Yeah.
And so when you do that, you slow down the economy, because now ain't nobody borrowing the money, because you get more money if you do have a home. You see what I'm saying? But if you in at 3% in your home, the average person to start a business is not gonna want to pull that, because he or she gonna lose that interest rate.
Yeah. It's going to
That
raise
might
your
be a
mortgage.
three, and now you're gonna
Hmm.
be at a six. You
And
kind
your
of see what I'm
mortgage
saying?
goes up.
And mortgage goes up. So that's why everything is slow. You got to slow it down so that the economy and the dollar value can catch back up. Because for
Yeah.
so many years, me and you didn't know nothing, but I think when we got our first house, um, we did we didn't do the 80/20. We just did a regular 30-year fix
We did the FHA.
FHA, and I think we was at like a what, three or four, somewhere up in there. I think,
We were at, no, our interest rate in our first house was like a
two
2.5,
something.
something like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so it was at a good rate, and
Yeah.
and now and that was what, I mean, 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
So look how low the interest rate has been for that long,
Yeah.
and then now it's back up to, because on the average, I read this the other day, you got some interest rate on houses as high as 9%.
Dang. Dang.
Yes, as high as 9%. If your
That's
credit
crazy.
that bad, you got a 9%, and I don't know what the FHA is, but the point is, I'm just saying. So anyway, and so like I said, once again, man, I appreciate you, babe, getting on here, just trying to give the advice, and just telling everybody, if the diesel costs, um, just try to factor it in, find you a good, if you're gonna use a credit card, just make sure you got a good interest rate with some points coming off of it, because and then if not, get you a good fuel card, and get you a fuel card that's across state line.
Hmm.
Um, that that the states, cities you're going to rent in, they have that particular, because that's going to buy you some time as you get your settlements and things of that nature.
Yeah,
Um,
a card that you could use at any pump, not a
yeah,
card that you have to use at only at a
particular,
particular gas station.
yeah,
Try to
yeah,
get a card that you can use at any pump.
on that, yeah, because that right there, and then like I said, drivers just set your cruise control, um, 60 miles, 62, 63. That, and some people don't think, well, between 62 and 65 is that big of a difference. Yeah, it's a big of a difference, because you go anything above 65 in a tractor, and you hauling anything 30,000 pounds or higher, you burn a lot more fuel, and especially with it being hot with the AC and different things like that.
Hmm.
So, so there's little tips like that, like I said, and just budgeting in, like you said earlier, and be good. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, with that said, we're a little bit over our time. I just thank everybody. I was 3 minutes off, because trying to, like I said, once again, still having some of the technical, situations, but you got to square it away. But I want to just thank everybody that's got on. Ant, thank you, man. Trina, thank you. I think who else signed in China? Carrie, thank you. Christina, hey man, talk to you in a minute.
Hey, cuz.
Um,
Hey,
yeah,
Corona.
yeah. So just wanted to say, thank everybody, chiming in with us because it means a lot, and, you know, all right, all right. Karan, how you doing? So I just want to tell everybody thank you, but like I said, want to tell everybody you can also go to our YouTube page, at Crawford Logistics and Associate at YouTube, and then you go to Crawford Logistics and Associate, as far as the website. And then you can also follow us at, CLA, and Crawford Logistics and Associate as far as our Instagram, Crawford Logistics and Associate, Facebook. So, and with these, we, like I said, we do this. Me and Mish, we do this. We take a time out. My wife get on here, and we just try to give you things that we do day to day. And we just ask you, encourage you, if you're going to do a business, just do it the right way. Reach out to us at CLA, DM, and we'll be able to at least start you on the right path. But if you don't have a plan, just know you're planning to fail. It's gonna be, and when I say it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be quick, and all the money you're investing into it is you're gonna be. But if you reach out to us at CLA, we'll definitely, especially when it comes to transportation and everything. Well, babe, you got anything you want to say about your up and coming ventures, or anything as far as the business, or?
Well, I'm in the process of making some new products, so they'll be posted on the website, and I'll definitely be posting them on Instagram. So, and I'll let everybody know when all
Crawford
that.
Natural. Okay.
Yeah, for Crawford Naturals. So
Okay.
yeah, look out for some new stuff.
New stuff. We're gonna be in the streets in a minute, buddy. We'll be in the streets, man. You'll see the crowd.
Yeah, we'll be hitting the street in a minute once we get the together, get the rap going on, the